I'm going to move on to our last feature. Matthew Hupert from New York City is the founder of Neuro-Nordic Institute and Press. He has two full-length collections. Ism is a retrovirus, 3 Rooms Press, 2011, and Secular Pantheism, Neuro-Nordic Press, 2019, plus several chapbooks. He's appeared in Mainstream Magazine, Montanon, Dada Journal, and Sonnets, 150 Contemporary Sonnets, 2005, et al. Matthew hosts the annual New York Poets reading, Night in a Naked City, and the monthly series, which is an excellent series, highly recommended, Neuro-Nordic Institute presents. Let's give a warm Brownstone welcome to Matthew Hupert.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Roxanne. Thank you, Patty. I'm really honored to be here reading. I really appreciate the invite. I want to apologize. I had a dental procedure recently that's having me slurring my sibilants. So if it gets out of control, I apologize in advance. But here we go. I have mostly new stuff, a little old stuff. We're very close to a really important election. So I'm going to start with 2 political poems and then I'm going to move on. This first one is called Echoes from Charlottesville. I didn't want to punch that Nazi. I wanted to hear his side of the story. I wanted an open dialogue, to understand stood and maybe find peace. I asked him what would soothe. I asked him wants and needs. I asked him share his dreams. He said, I want to extinct the Jews and blacks and browns and queers. So I punched him. And this one is called Encaged and Enraged is No Way to Run a Country. They told me time and again that I'd grow more conservative as I grew older, but now I dream of guillotines. This poem is actually going to appear in the next issue of Poetry Bay, George Wallace's publication. It's called 60-Year Distillation. The lie of youth is that only they can understand the world, and we who came before are doddering and foolish. The lie of age is the knowing smile of having been there too, while pretending that they're wrong. Thank you. Okay, this next one is called Rachmunis. Rachmunis is a Yiddish word which means mercy. Mercy or pity, but mercy really. My father used to say, have Rachmunis on me. Anyway. Rachmunis. If you think agreeing to see a child fed so their nighttime is dream time, not screams or pangs, is the same as the midnight knock that ends in the gulags, I'm sorry. If you think a shoulder-shared burden of Synthroid and Benzapril is a slippery slope to the state seizing your assets, your business, yourself, who hurt you? If you think your Surus or Bicornar skins don't Pantone the same instead of the systemic greed of rapacious pirates, I'm sorry. Who hurt you? You need a hug. Here I am. Thank you. Okay, then now I have a couple from this last spring. I know it's been a hard year for everyone, but excuse me. This one is called April Showers. I want to write about the distant thunder, but it sounds like a cliche. The note rolls deep across empty New York streets. The rain to follow will not cleanse, but the soft rumble between the buildings out back echoes around my chest and courtyard, massages my shoulders down from around my ears, and eases my breathing in a time when every inhale can be a death sentence. It's preternaturally still between each baritone roll. I'm not sure if the thunder or the silence is the punctuation. And this next one I wrote on the anniversary of the moon landing. It's got an epigram magnificent desolation, which is how children describe awake on the sea of tranquility. Our orbit has shrunk to a few blocks radius. Our apartment and Apollo mission, Tranquility Base, 3 astronauts huddle in an oxygen bubble. We suit up for an occasional walk in the hostile environment outside the capsule door. This is not the science fiction opera promised, while we watched small steps and giant leaps, when we kirked and spocked and dreamt of new constellations. Instead, we got decontaminations because we need half and half for the morning coffee. And the last one, these springtime poems, it's called My Mother Passed in a Plague Year. My mother passed in a plague year. Took me 3 weeks to cry for my mother. It's complicated. Goodbyes can linger long and still be so sudden. I was an orphan before my mother died. It's complicated. There was cold fire between us, unfocused in mirror and lens. Goodbyes can linger long and still be so sudden. There was a cold fire between us. I found amnesty for her in my aging. Her forgiving was forgetting. Forgiveness in both mirror and lens. I found amnesty with aging, and just now only do I get who she was. Children don't see parents as people. Her forgetting was forgiving. Only just now do I get who she was. It says more about me. I know I missed my opportunity. Children don't see parents as people. It says a lot about me. Took me 3 weeks to cry for my mother. I was an orphan before she died. Thank you. All right, I have a chapbook that I just finished putting together. It's just about to go into the production phase. I make these all by hand, these little chapbooks. And this newest one, I'm both illustrated and poems, all based on the works of Albert Camus. And each poem begins with a quote from Camus, with an epigram from Camus. Those are in French. I'm not going to butcher the French for you guys, so I'll just read you the English translation. But in the actual poems, it'll be in the French. The first one is called Abe Absurd, and the Camus quote is, with rebellion, awareness is born. Hail the holy jester, the holy fool, the cosmic goof. Friday night, under the amber cone of a dim street lamp, patting my pockets, pants, and chest, looking the fool. I couldn't find my meaning anywhere. I know I had some when I left the house, heard it clink my keys on the way out the door. Jean-Paul called this feeling nausea, but he was always a bit of a drama queen. Why should dying in an empty room be more nauseating than dying with a deity? I stopped patting my pockets and embraced the absurd instead. Meaning isn't a gift, it's how cats signify. Pockets empty, I left the street corner and whistled my way into the dark. Cosmic goof, holy jester, holy fool. This next one is called Less Than Everything, and the epigram is, perhaps we cannot prevent this world from being a world in which children are tortured, but we can reduce the number of tortured children. Less than everything. Do something. If you can't raise an army, raise a child. If you can't bring an elephant, pick a flower. If you can't end despair, wipe away a tear. This next one is called Piranha. I'm just rolling through here. Piranha, and the epigram is, mistaken ideas always end in bloodshed, but in every case, it's someone else's blood. Piranha. Good intentions don't mean jack shit if they leave you bleeding on the floor. They say sticks and stones and sticks and stones and sticks and stones. But words cut deeper every time they define you. With all due respect to Billy Carl Bill, perhaps no ideas but in things. But there are things and ideas that can strip the skin from a man in moments, leaving bleached bone, walking fourscore till the grave. Praetorian piranhas feast on flesh until only affiliation hangs from the bones. Affiliation implying aberration from a non-existent norm. Better to be sticked and stoned than nibbled and whittled and left bleeding on Amazonian banks. Thank you. All right, I got two more of these Camus and then one after that. This one, the epigram is, we always deceive ourselves twice about the people we love, first to their advantage, then to their disadvantage. And it's called Tar Sands. Frack you. I frack you to feed myself on your underdepths until your out beauty collapses in a shattered shale. Frack me, hard and deep, drilling into the resources just beneath my mantle so you can grow water fat and well-oiled, warm through winter night. We were pristine forests, hiding wealth under shimmering aspens and hooting owls and scurrying beasts that did not have any illusions about the nature of love. Do we lie to each other out of love or because we don't know the truth of ourselves? Thank you. And this last Camus poem, excuse me, is called Cherry Stained Oak. And the epigram is, life can be magnificent and overwhelming. That is its whole tragedy. Without beauty, love, or danger, it would be almost easy to live. Cherry Stained Oak. There's a semicircular scratch on the floor, an arc traced by a slightly misadjusted door that becomes deeper each time one of us comes or goes. The arc has become almost every day unseen in the manner of things we see every day, and that we never have to ask if this is the last time we will scratch that scar deeper is the shape I want to live with you. Thank you. All right, I have one poem left, but before I do, thank you again, Patricia. Thank you again, Roxanne and Brownstone. It's been an honor to read with all of you. Hopefully we'll get on the other side of this nonsense soon and be able to read in person again. I'll see you all come to my reading. I'll be at yours. And the election is really a millisecond away, and we're this close to fascism. So please, please, please get out there, vote, ensure everyone votes. Early voting starts in 2 weeks. So, all right, enough of that. This is called Shifting Down, which is the title of a John Coltrane tune. Shifting Down. Sometime when the lights, ba-da-da-do-dee, are low, and the quiet house echoes silence, and I feel ba-da-dee-do-do, a poem coming on. You're asleep in the next room, and I want to tell you ba-da-doo-dee-da, a verse about love, but all I hear, only a train solo, ba-da-dee-do-do. It's not Byron's Flame Flower, or Dizzy's Bop Bop Burn, like love in easy early days, but dee-doo-doo-dee, deep, deep, like only a decade can dig. Dig, ba-da-dee-do-do-dee. And this poem doesn't careen off walls wailing hot, a howler in a jungle canopy, but ba-dee-dee-doo-dee-dee booms low like an aftershock echo in a canyon when the rock slide is finished and birds worship the moment of still. Do-do-dee-do-do. So what I'm trying to tell you is ba-da-dee-do-dit, ba-da-dee-do-do, ba-da-dee-dee-da-dit, ba-da-do-dit-do-da, do-da. Thank you. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much, Matthew. Great job. Okay, we're going to move on.